the hero for me is Zoho Creator every time in the Zoho ecosystem. I'm saying the hero because he's multiple times the missing piece that can help the client even go with Zoho at sometimes. Because you can use books or any type of set like, oh, there's just like small piece in books, but it can happen with other vendors. I don't need to name them, but all other vendors in the same style, you need like a third party or something to complete. And this is when Creator comes and say, oh, I can develop this quick app or quick integration and want to simplify my life.
There are few people who radiate positivity and good vibes. Our guest today is such a person. Youness, who is the partner and CTO of BSP, is joining us today to share his journey with us.
Gartner, I think in 2019 or 2020, said that the future is LoCode. And in 2025, we will have 60, I think, if my 65% will be on LoCode. And I was like, come on.
I went in the right place.
I'm in the right place.
Youness, welcome to the podcast here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it is a great pleasure to finally have you here in India and have you here with us on this session. So yeah, the whole idea is to kind of understand more about you, your background, the work that you're doing. That's what we'll be focusing throughout the podcast today. So let's start by understanding the beginning. Like, where did you grow up? What did you study? Like, could you tell a bit to us about your background?
Yes. So I'm originally from Morocco. I lived there for 19 years, 1920 in Casablanca. So born there, studied till high school. Then I had 1 year when I studied a little bit, it's called OFPPT. So it's public schools, but it specifies on computer science or development. So I've done that for a year. I've always loved computers and that, and I have a little bit of skill, even young. So I did that here. Then I just stopped. I was like, when you're young, sometimes like, oh, I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. Yes, I love that. So I worked for a year as a technical support for like a French company, and it did confirm that I love the technical side. So that's when one day, background. I always thought that I will study somewhere else than Morocco, at least for a couple of years and come back. So one day, just working with a friend, I saw that like Canada Embassy doing a open door for the universities and schools. So I said with my friend, yeah, let's go check. So I checked, and there was multiple universities and colleges and stuff. And I don't know, but I just like one college in a small city called Matane in north of Quebec catch my eyes and I'm going to say my heart. And that's it. So I applied, got approved, flew to Canada the next couple of months. So I studied there for 3 years in computer science. So it's college, it's called Cégep de Matane. So it's like a college. So you have 3 years, focus on, like in my case, development. And so that's how my journey of studying.
As a kid growing up, what was your other interest? Like, was it always IT, computers, or were you into sports? How were you as a kid?
Oh, as a kid. So my first initial, so my father works for Royal Air Maroc, which is like the airplane companies in Morocco.
Okay.
So I was like, when I was like 5, 6 until 10 or 11, I was I want to be a pilot. That was like my first thought. And then my father would always say, yeah, it's like if you want to have a family, stuff like that, it's not the best. We were young and just like kidded with that. And then switches to computer science. But I had a lot of interest. Surf, soccer, of course, I played my whole life. And I was potentially had the chance to be pro. There is a team called Raja Casablanca, which is one of the best teams in the world, by the way. Mm-hmm. They played the World Cup and stuff like that. So when I was young, I was on their school too. But it was difficult in Morocco at the time to study and do sports. It changed lately, but unfortunately at the time you needed to choose one day. And I was good, but it's difficult to see if I could have just a bad knee or a big accident and it's done. My career is done. So I choose to continue my studies. So yeah, soccer. Then I did a little bit of surfing. We have some windy beaches in Morocco, so I love that. I even do a little bit of theater. I even sing when I was young. Like school will every year we need to do like how do you call it?
A play?
Like, a spectacle, like a spectacle for all the schools. So each group would need to do something, either sing, a theater piece, a dance. So but my preferred ones were either theater or singing.
Quite an active childhood with a lot of interest.
Yes.
But that was news. You could have been a football player.
Yeah, but I honestly, one of the people who had managing our team, he was known for like taking care of. He will like choose the best ones and say, go to the. So if you're choosing, it doesn't mean you're gonna be on the first team. But if you're choosing to play at his team, you had your chances.
Okay. You could make it big with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you studied computer science in Quebec, what did you think you would become? Like, what was the goal at that time?
So when I started, like the teachers were always going, hey, this is like the great opportunity. You'll have a lot of jobs in the future. There's a lot of languages. You can do a lot of type of businesses. There is the cloud, the servers, and you can be a technician. You can be an analyst, an architect. So honestly, at the time, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't even know, to be honest, if I was going to stay in Canada or even in Quebec at the time. At my third year, I was still hesitating. Do I go back to Morocco? Do I stay here? And so, yeah, it was for me like, what do I do? I'll start as a developer, find a good company, start as a developer, and we'll see.
Okay. So then how was the journey like? So now you are a partner and a CTO at BSP. So what was that journey like? How did you discover them? Were they already working on the same area? What was that journey like?
Yeah. So when I was still studying, we need to have like an internship to complete the 3 years. And I was lucky enough to be accepted at CGI, which is a consultant company based in Canada, but they're worldwide. And I was at the team of Cirque du Soleil. And 2-3 weeks after that, they offered me a job. So I was like, that's when my decision was decided, like, do I go back to Morocco or I stay? It's because of that. The job offer, I was saying, this is a great opportunity. I cannot miss it. Because honestly, so the school was in Matan. And Matan is a small city, 15K people. And there is not a lot of opportunities in terms of development. So they do like this, the travel, industrial travel, they call it. They get you to bigger cities and show you a couple of companies. So they got us to Quebec City, which is like the nearest, like it's nearest for Matan than Montreal, for example. And we visited Ubisoft, the Ubisoft, CGI, and the third one, I think, Desjardins, which is a bank, one of the biggest banks. And I don't know why, but CGI caught my eye again. I'm a feeling guy. I have a good sense, a sixth sense, and I always followed it. And that was with Matan. Same thing with CGI. So I didn't apply for the others. I just applied for CGI because, and I'm a hard-minded guy also. When I have something in mind, it can take me time, but when I need to do it, I'll take the steps to do it. But I will definitely do it. So applied to CGI. After a 3 weeks or 4 weeks and a 2 months internship, they offered me that job. That was the point when I said, okay, I cannot miss the opportunity. It's one of the greatest consultant company. I will stay. I will try it out and we'll see. So that was my journey as a developer start. So like I told you, internship with Cirque du Soleil team, which is like one of the greatest team I work with. Like great developers, a great architect. like a small family that was helped me to stay at CGI. And I stayed there for 6 years, around 6 years. So I've done Cirque du Soleil, a couple of insurance company. I was implicated in multiple, I'm gonna say, levels, and as a little bit of analyst, and also sometimes as managing a little bit the project. But what was great, it was like I was working with some great minds and great people, and I just like I was like how do you call it, like I was just like absorbing whatever they're doing. I'm just like there to learn. I was learning. And then that's when it started on me. Like I always had like an entrepreneur side. I've always see it, but I kept it aside. I need to learn something before I try. I have some ideas, but again, didn't live enough, didn't have enough experience in life to just say, oh, I'm gonna start this. So in those years, I had a lot of friends and stuff like that. We gathered some ideas, and then we had a couple of startups starting that I collaborated with. And sometimes people were serious, just wasn't the right idea, but sometimes people weren't serious. And so maybe I'm ahead, but that's when I know Zoho Creator. I'm gonna go back to that. And so afterwards, I was trying to be like a consultant or analyst, which was a little bit difficult in a big company. That's when I said, like, I want to try something else. I'll try somewhere else. And I had 2 potential companies that were interested in me. Then, like, it was BSP and another company. I don't know. I chose this BSP for I think 2 reasons. Again, the two brothers that were having the company, they're nice people, and also the link with Zoho, because I did know Zoho before. So I said, like, I want to try this, because the other company, they were doing custom development as our normal development. I was doing in CGI. So like, I want to try something else, and I'll do that. So that's my journey when it started with BSP in 2017.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about how you got introduced to Creator a little bit. Can you tell us more about what was that journey like? How did you come to know about Zoho or the LoCode platform? What was that like?
So Zoho started in CGI. They had they call it center of interest. So if you were interested at the time in 2013 or 2014, interested in cloud, interested in agile approach, interested in CRM. So they have the business interest or center of interest, and I was interested in everything. So I just like, I was in, I think, of course, CRM and others, and that's when I did know about Zoho. So because in the center of interest, they were talking at the time, of course, Microsoft Dynamics, because a lot of users at CGI were using it, and there was Sugar CRM and Zoho CRM. I didn't know nothing about CRM at the time. And a couple of colleagues, now more than friends, they told me about Zoho CRM and said, like, yeah, this is like at the time, like a new upcoming for them. It was 2013, 2014, like, it's great. They had a lot of options, still lacking this and this, but it's a great tool, it doesn't cost a lot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so again, we've tested them all. Sugar CRM, Dynamics, I know about them all. So that's how I know about Zoho. The LoCode, when I was messing around with some startups, sometimes I was the developer on team, and it was like, oh, we need like a proof of concept, or I need a small tool to do something. And that's when I didn't know Zoho. So in my search, in Google, and search for something to develop quickly. And I think I'm sure that someone told me about the LoCode platform at the time that I didn't know what was it. I just like searched for something, I think dumb, like how I quickly develop in 2 weeks. And I found something. That's when I saw Zoho, and I said, oh, Zoho, I know Zoho. And I found Zoho Creator. I think it was version 2015 or 16. No, 2016. It was version 3, I think, at the time. And So yeah, I used it to develop something, nothing crazy, like a database with some quick workflows. We showed it to some interested clients and investors, and that was how I did know about Zoho Creator.
Okay, so you got introduced to Creator, played around with a little bit at that point of time. Then how did the whole LoCode segment in BSP start? So was there an involvement from you, or were they already doing LoCode at the time when you joined them?
So when I joined BSP, they were searching for someone with a development background, because for a year before, because they were implementing CRM for a couple of years, like 2013, 14, and 15. Then clients were asking for some more stuff as development. So they were working with some freelancers or even some partners at the time and it wasn't always great. It's difficult sometimes, yeah? So then they decided to say, oh, we need an internal team. So when I started, the older guys, there is 2 guys that were leaving because of the relationship wasn't okay. And they had like 1 developer, like he just started, he was an internship, he was 19 years old. He was the only developer. So I joined, and my goal, I did the dance, by the way, with BSP because they were interested in me before. And I said, I want to be an analyst. They said, no, we need a developer. I said, no, I want to be an analyst. So they offered me the job, and then I saw that there was like 1 developer. I saw the list of clients and what needs to be delivered, and it was it was too much, but it was a great I'm gonna say challenge for me, and so that's how I started my journey at BSP. When I started at that time, that's when I saw like the opportunity in how LoCode was sold as a solution for some clients. Some of them I understood right away. Some of them I wasn't sure that I can deliver. Some of them I wasn't sure it can be done on LoCode, because I had a thought about LoCode at the time, like I told you, in 2016 or something like that. That's small stuff. So we had 1 developer. We added another one in 2-3 months, and then a third one. So in a 4 months period, we hired 2 other developers who were both young. So 19, 21. And it was me. And so that was like the start of the journey. But in those 3-4 months, I honestly saw the potential, because I was, I now have a kid, but at the time I didn't have a kid. So I have a lot of free time. So I put in tons of hours to understand where we can push the solution. And after those 3-4 months, that's when I saw the potential, and I was like, oh, I can live here with this for a long time. And that's even like in 2017, July, and I can back this story. My friend Usama is here in Cali. I saw him in Morocco, and I told him, man, we will work together. I'm working with this, and it will be, in my opinion, the future. So when I ask you to leave your actual job, he had a great job at the time, you will join me. Will you? He didn't hesitate. We had a trust. We'll go back. He said, tell me when, we'll do it. And that's when we start. So we had some older client that we needed to deliver. We took care of them. We had it was a small team, but especially as a young team. Like I told you, like I was the guy with most experience, but even though I had like 6 years of experience, so managing the team, delivering the project. But honestly, Zoho Creator helped us because, one, we save a lot of time, as you know, drag and drop and all that fun stuff, like quickly reports. And we had some other colleagues after that were added, they do CRM, and we just like continue learning and growing. So from 2017, now we're 30 plus people. So at the time we were 6, 7.
Okay.
So we had a great, I'm gonna say, growth, and especially the development team. So because the heart at the time was CRM.
Yeah.
The bigger team were 3 people, I think, or 2. Not that big, but still. It was CRM. That was the focus. And then it just shifted. So we were more like a development shop. And so now the growth team and the bigger team, and even the big percentage of revenue of the company is 80%, I'm going to say, on the development side, Zoho Creator, but any integration development also on the Zoho ecosystem. So yeah, so we've done some small applications, some bigger ones. We had struggles, we had fun times, a lot of fun times. We had a lot of learning. Me and Usama, we took some weekends, just like testing, validating, taking ideas from other ERPs or knowledge that we've learned. Like I told you, him and I, we were lucky enough to work on great teams. So we had a lot of knowledge, but we need to apply it.
True.
And when you apply a knowledge, it's not always as great in the first time. So you do it once, you do it second and third, and then it becomes mature, because you can learn whatever, you can learn it, and it's rare that you can 100% get it from the first time. So, and especially for us, it was a lot of learning, managing a team, and it's people. So people can be like all sort of people. So, and we had also developers not experienced, like I told you, 19 years old. So they had a lot to learn. And also we had Zoho Creator to learn. Because yes, we were good developers, but this is another platform with another set of how to do it. We had clients that know what they do. Some are less, they know less what they want or what they do. So with all that, it was like, but I'll do it again in a heartbeat. Don't regret nothing. Great experience. It was honestly like a great journey until today. Can't wait to see the future.
Quite an interesting and inspiring story, to be honest. You touched upon this thing that when you got introduced to the LoCode platform back in 2016-17, there was an initial impression. What was it, and has it changed now? Or is it the same? Or how has it changed?
No, it definitely changed.
Okay.
So that was like I said, I was searching for something quick to help. And at the time I was talking with more experienced developers than me. And I was like, yeah, this is like, it's a vague and it will go away. Because it happens a lot of time with some new type of technologies, and you heard about them for a year or two, and then it disappears. I was like, yeah, no, don't waste your time. But like, yeah, okay, but it helped me go through this proof of concept or this solution. So for now, it will be okay. Then when I started with Zoho, with BSP, sorry, and Zoho Creator more, then I saw like what was happening. And also the guys like Eddie or told me about what he saw for some Zoholics or conference from Zoho, as like he always told me the story that like about IKEA using Zoho, especially Zoho Creator. And I was, 2017, late 2017 or 2018, there was at the time the Zoholics for developers in Pleasanton in California. So I got there because I told the guys, I'm going. I'm just like, I want to understand. So I got there. It was like 150, 200 people from all the US. No, from around the globe.
Yeah.
US, I think Mexico, people from New Zealand, Australia. And I just like, something I didn't understand before. I was like, okay, there is something here. So I learned for that 3 days how people use it elsewhere. Type of clients, like there were like medium and big clients using it. And I got to know just like the Zoho Creator team. At the time, it was Aditya. Aditya Tandon, yeah. It's still a friend, and we communicate sometimes. Charles from the product team, and I can name a lot, like Eddie Hemmant, and I learned them 2017, 2018, and I saw them. There was the 2 conference focused on development. There was like the stamp to say, okay, I'm exaggerating, I'm not wasting my time. I was 99% sure, or 98 to be honest, And those conferences just like say, no. It's one of the tools for the future. Gartner, after that, like I was reading a lot, and Gartner, I think in 2019 or 2020, said that the future is low code, and in 2025 we will have 60, I think, if my 55% will be on low code, and I was like, come on.
I went in the right place.
I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, it was just like growing as a team, understanding more, growing, mature in terms of business, in terms of experience, to get more clients. So today, if someone told me like, I want to implement low code in a enterprise level, I will ask them, when you want to start. 3-4 years ago, I would definitely hesitate. I'm a risk taker. I will hesitate, definitely couldn't do it. But today, it will be without an hesitation.
Good. So following up to that, what was one of the very challenging but very rewarding project that you did? Because that I'm sure you've dealt with multiple different clients. So
Definitely.
Is there something like that comes to your mind?
There is a couple. There is honestly a couple. There's some small ones that are like interesting. There's some bigger ones. So I don't know. I'll start with the small ones. This is like a non-profit, and also this is like we had a niche, I'm gonna say, because people that are coming to us for Creator, it's multiple times tools that didn't exist, or it was complex to build them, or were highly costly. Yeah. So one of the interesting case was, I'm gonna say a small one. It's a non-profit. So this non-profit needed like a special inventory type of management, and they needed like an auction system. So because they were selling some stuff, but they need for all the people at the time, they were like an auction. So you said, oh, I'm gonna give $10 for this or $2 for this. They put it in Excel, they send it to all the people, and they were managing that like that. So they got the Excel and managed that. So it was like it was too much. So we did something like auction system on Creator with portals. That's it. It was 2019, and it was like it was fun to deliver that, and it was also interesting to see like something as weird as auctions being done in a system. So that one marked me. The rest is like biggest one is also the reason like we were the hackathon winners is complex inventory, bill of material system, and that's why, because it's been a journey. Like from 2018 or 2019, we had some clients that needed like inventory system or light manufacturing. Those were the weekends we were sometimes spending with Osama to improve not our knowledge, but our way of using the tool. Because we understand manufacturing, but we needed to improve how, like, because I can do a recipe today. Like I can do a couscous from Morocco. It will not be good. I'm not great in the kitchen, but it will not be good. I can do it. But after 10 times, I'm pretty sure I'll get it. Maybe 8, maybe 3, but I'll do my best until I get it. So the same thing happens with development. Like even like whatever tool, like Zoho, Google, Facebook, they have V1, V2, V3, and then you improve. And it's the same thing with Lib. I'm not saying we put it like 3 years, but every quarter or something, we will put in some effort and say, let's improve. So that was like one part that we've done, and that we can come to something nicely done, clean, that a public company, we're happy to say like there is a public company using LoCode. For me, this is huge, because when people say, like I told you, oh, can I use this? Like, come on, there is a public company using LoCode. Like, whatever size of company you have, whatever complexity you have, pretty sure we can sort it out.
So you have in the past 6-7 years seen different versions of Creator, all different features. What is your favorite feature in Creator?
I need to say one.
You can say more.
Okay, no, but since okay, my favorite. I think I said it a lot of times, like for everyone, but just like as simple as the drag and drop fields, because it's not a non-adding value for like a developer when we're coding. There is no value. I'm not adding value to the client. Like my time, if a client is hiring us, I need to give him value for his money. So if I'm exaggerating 5 minutes per field, no adds value. So as simple as drag and drop the fields, quickly saying mandatory, changing the type of fields or the format, stuff like that. That's one of the favorite. That's like a lasting one. Second would be portals. Portals, we've used it a lot of times. Like I told you, this client with the client with their own clients or clients with their own vendors. Mm-hmm. Again, because in normal development, it will take time to like set up another set of security and permission, which is like just configuration with Zoho Creator. Literally just configuration. You can take time to do, I want to have a nice login page for my clients. And again, it will not take a lot of time, but still, it's just simple and great. Widgets. So widgets for multiple reasons. So we had a lot of clients asking for, sometimes they want to improve the UI through, I don't know, they have like some big forms and they have multiple layers, multiple pages. Or sometimes it was just like, I want like a look and feel of a POS. There is a lot of cases. So, but widget being able to use the simplicity of LoCode, doing all those automation and workflows complex as needed, and just like taking a widget with JavaScript or React and applying it and say, it's done. There you go. And people just like were shocked because we showed them like the form and just like apply the widgets and say, what you done? No, I just said you widgets like how, and it doesn't take a lot of time. So because Zoho Creator team were nice enough to simplify that for us. It's just like plug it here, do your job, but plug it here, do your mapping, and it's done. So that is instead of like developing a full UI, which can be a lot of time. I can go on, but I can at least like the integrations. We do a lot of integration with the rest of Zoho ecosystem. The heart is Zoho Creator. The hero for me is Zoho Creator every time in the Zoho ecosystem. I'm saying the hero because he's multiple times the missing piece that can help the client even go with Zoho sometime. Because you can use books or any type and said like, there's just like small piece in books, but it can happen with other vendors. I don't need to name them, but all other vendors in the same style, you need like a third party or something to complete. And this is when Creator comes and say, I can develop this quick app or quick integration and want to simplify my life. So the seamless and simplicity of integration, that's very helpful too, because I can connect quickly with Zoho CRM. I can connect quickly with books and create the invoice and create sales order or whatever. Like it's simple. And even like with the version Creator Plus, we have Flow. So now it just infinite, I'm going to say possibilities because you have, 600, how many integrations?
Yeah, 800 plus.
800 plus. So we can integrate with him. So that simplicity of integrations, it's great. And like I said, I can reports and custom functions and
Got it. You know everything. Good. So next is a very different random question, a fun question. If you can live someone else's life for a week or so, whose life would you choose and why?
Can I have more than one?
For now, just one.
Just one?
The top
just
one.
The top one. It would be Muhammad Ali. Why? he has like I think I saw a lot of documentaries and the stories about what happens at the time when he was in the military. The state of mind and focus he can be on, it's beyond like something I'm trying to be as focused on him, because I saw sometimes when he trains, he was like on the woods and like at 4 a.m. What he eats and how he trains, because I respect him as an athlete, but also as a human being. And he has like, I don't know, like one of the stable minds I think that I've known, and very focused, and he respected his all his principles 100%, and he was funny.
Yeah,
like he was a lot of fun too. So yeah, that would be definitely Muhammad Ali.
Okay, that is a good answer actually. Okay, so I think we're almost nearing the end of this session. So the last question to you is, what do you see or foresee for BSP for the next couple of years? Where do you see it going and growing? And also personally, what is the growth that you're looking for in the next couple of years?
So for the future, and even like I'm gonna back you up, like I told you, I can be a focused guy, and I want to have a goal. I'll work towards it. It can take me a year, it can take me a month, but I'll definitely continue work, especially if it makes sense. I'm not stupid, but if I definitely if it check the boxes, I'll work on it. So in 2017, I think in the first Zoholics, I told this to Aditya, and again he can back it or not. I told him, he told me what's your, because I was new on the ecosystem, a couple of months. He said like, what's your goal? And like I told you, I saw the potential, even though with a little bit of hesitation that was confirmed, but I was like 80-90% at least sure that I can spend at least 10 years on the ecosystem, at least. He was like, what's your goal? I said like, being one of the best creator teams globally. I think we're near that, or at least there.
Yeah.
Winning this hackathon, I think that's one stamp, definitely. And it means also that we had a lot of work to do. So when I announced this to the team, said, hey, we won, it was like, we were extremely happy, but it was also after 10 minutes of happiness, I said, but now it just, the job just started.
Yeah.
Our work, it just started. For me, it's a stamp, but it's just like one stamp in a longer journey. So the idea is to continue grow with Zoho, continue collaborating. Like this is my first time, as you know, in Nama Chennai, and it's been one of the incredible journeys. Like no, hands down, I travel a lot, but I'm feeling change every day because of the culture, because of the people. It's thank you for everything. So and yeah, I want to live this feeling. I want to have it for the last decades. So collaborating, I want to grow as a person, learn from you and everyone, and continue growing the team, BSP. We're just lately, we were in Canada and the US, and lately we're going to the MENA region. So for me, that was personal in Morocco. I'm Moroccan, still Moroccan, and I wanted to. We were talking about this with my new colleague, old friend Radia, which will start in the MENA region because she's back in Morocco and then and lately, and we were talking at the time saying, man, because she was like work for Zoho Canada at the time, and we just like clicked and we was just like, we need this set of tools for the Moroccan entrepreneurs, because they don't have access to tools like this. They have others, but of course, a lot of costs or something like that. So we said, how can we help the Moroccan entrepreneurs or Moroccan at that matter to hit SEP? And Zoho will fit 100%. We had that talk 2-3 years ago, and now I'm just happy to say like, oh, we're gonna start. So the idea is Morocco. We'll see the MENA region. In Africa, I'm an African too, so I would love to help and grow the team. As an entrepreneur, I'm an ambitious guy, And I would love to push BSP and be one of the respected, most important partners globally, not just for Creator, maybe for more tools. But like I said, as in terms of quality, in terms of relationship, and yeah, I think that's my thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of great things ahead. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And I'm sure all of this is going to come your way. You come with a lot of right intention and thought, and I think that will definitely reflect in the future as well. But yeah, great to have you here. I think this has been a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. I think for me personally, it is kind of getting to know a friend even more. So yeah, glad that we could have this opportunity. But thank you for joining us, Youness.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the hospitality, the great discussions and everything. Thank you.